All right, Shalom. This is Howard One by Yesha Allah of the Lions Den Camp, located right here in Jacksonville, Florida. Before I begin, I want to say Kal Halayim La Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai by Hashem Harakah Kodash Ma'amah. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. One second, let me put my battery. Shalom to you, Akim and Akwatim and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. Sorry, I got a notification from my battery is low. Let me charge it. All right. Sorry about that. Salakia, I had to plug my computer charger in. It was about to cut off on me as soon as we started. All right, so we're gonna get into this live, and I want to read this article today. Here it is, right here. Let me go right here. Matter of fact, let me start off with a precept. This is a Second Ezra 15 and 28. It says, "Behold, a horrible vision." All right, and the appearance thereof from the east, man. So this basically is a prophecy of vision of turmoil and wars that's going to break out over there in what they call the Middle East, which is really just called the East. All right. So behold, in horrible vision. So this is all part of prophecy that we're seeing today, um, amidst all the turmoil and proxy wars that are breaking out, which could lead to a direct war between these major countries like Russia, um, Iran, and America. All right, China getting involved now. Pakistan threatening to nuke um, Israel if they strike Iran. Turkey's involved. All right, so now the trigger that's going to pull all these nations into what we call Armageddon, a regional war, is basically them striking Iran. Now, this may have to be a whole nother lesson, but the higher ups know, we know it, they know it. They know that if Israel goes in there and strikes, or America strikes Iran, then that's going to what? Not lead to what we are just waiting for, which is World War III, but it's going to lead to the downfall of an American economy. It's going to lead to the downfall of the old system with the dollar, the OPEC system, which Iran is the top nation over the OPEC system. It's going to lead to regime change, which they want to have regime change in the East, where they can dismantle the Muslim Brotherhood. All right. And it's going to lead to the demise of an American economy and the dollar. It's going to destroy the borders with mass deportations, as we're seeing in different countries, and people scrambling, running from war. And so if they destroy the whole system, and people begin to blame that whole system and way of thinking, and which leads to this war, then they can have what? Order out of chaos, which everybody will beg for the new system, not even the dollar, but the new system, which will be digital. It's called um, it's called the digital peacekeeper system. All right, and you'll hear Trump talking about a digital ID, right? All these different things. So people are going to beg for a new way, a new system. If they use the EMP, or um, if Iran crashes the dollar, or Russia and China, which is the BRICS, they could crash the dollar, send those dollars home roosting. Also, with the threats of doomsday, World War III, America getting involved in the war, the investors, you have short-term investors, you have long-term investors that keep the American economy going. All right. Short-term and long-term investors, it's called the yield curve. Now, with the talks, wars, and rumors of wars, this is making America's status amongst those investors plummet. You have long term and short term. So people that invest in long term, they're saying, all right, I'm gonna invest in your country or in these assets in your country, and I'm gonna do long term instead of short term. If I do long term, you gotta you gotta build my trust that your economy is not gonna fall, so I can get my money back on the long term investment. Plus interest, right? But the talks of war, people begin to fear the long term investments and say, "Oh shit, let me pull my money out because they're going to war." And the what's that system? Digital. What's that? Bitcoin. The digital coin system is set to crash. The dollar is set to crash. The S&P 500 is already crashing if you check it today. So this could be a lot of people looking to get rich because you can buy in the dip when things go down, all right, and it comes back up and moves into a new market. But so this is not the actual World War Three. This is the pre-World War Three. This is what's going to lead to it. This is what's going to lead to. This could be the trigger, which I believe so. The trigger that leads to Jacob's trouble. All right, and that's what people keep saying. Why is it happening now? Why are they striking Iran now? Well, it's not about just Trump. It's not about just Bibi. It's about the higher ups, which would be the UK and those elites. All right. What pushed Bibi to strike now? All right, Netanyahu. So that's why the scriptures say, "What the least among them shall draw them out." And it's clear that America is being drawn into this war. All right, and it's going to ultimately be America's demise joining into this war. So I want to read a little bit of this, two articles maybe. All right, like a paragraph or two from it. And this is one right here. I don't know if you can see it. I'm gonna pull it up on the screen. Share this tab. All right. It says Russia warns the U.S. not to join Israel's attack on Iran and hits back at Trump. Why? Because Russia made a nuclear pact. I mean, not a nuclear, but a protection pact or treaty or deal with Iran. And the reason Russia is not stepping in yet, because a statement from Putin, he said Iran can protect itself, and Russia usually respects nations that protect themselves or defend themselves or that stand up for themselves, like Burkina Faso, that dude Traore, the African dude that was standing up. He said we don't want uh, money, or whatever from um, Russia. We just want education. So he was like, damn, okay, this is a strong guy here. Now you got Russia protecting other countries that are honorable, like Iran, and they saying they're not going to step in until they see Iran get weakened. And they said Iran is not losing right now. So from a military perspective and a governmental perspective, or oligarch perspective, like Putin, he sees that Iran is not losing the battle against Israel. This is just the start. All right, regardless what they're telling us in the Western media. So Russia warns the U.S. not to join Israel's attack on Iran, and and hits back at Trump because Trump was talking greasy the other day, talking about the Ayatollah. He was talking trash about Putin. Moscow, Russia. All right, Moscow was written in the scriptures as um what is it called again? Let me go to it real quick so I can remember the name. It's written in the scriptures in Ezekiel 38, which I'm not going to get that scripture too much today. But it says what? Ezekiel 38 and 1. 2. Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog. So that would be Moscow, the Kremlin, right? The chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against them. That's the chief prince of what's called Eurasia, or Eastern Asia, or Europe, which would be in the ancient times called the land of the Medes. All right. But today it's called Rosh, or Russia. So, and it says what? So that this is prophetic. Moscow, Russia. Russia on Thursday, so today's Friday. On Thursday, warned the U.S. not to join Israel's attacks on Iran. See, it's all prophetic. But we know, um, according to prophecy, let's get this real quick. Go here. According to prophecy, we got Matthews 24 and 6. And it says here, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. And we're hearing that. And rumors of wars. Hey, could this happen? Could this be? Look, see, wars and rumors of it. Has World War III begun? And this is a cover from the Jim Baker show. And this guy, the face that you see, I'm gonna speak on him in a second. All right. But yeah, wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. All right, because you got a lot of people panicking, you know, because they see um damn, let me get that real quick too. Sheesh. Let me just read it from my phone. Um let's go here. Uh, 1 second. Oh, there you go. Mm. This is Ecclesiastes 12 and 5. I just saw something else so like it. And when they shall be and when they shall be afraid of that which is high, I mean judgment. People gonna see the judgment coming. All right. So it's a lot of people are in fear. Matter of fact, let's go to verse 3. It says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. See, they starting to tremble now. And the strong men shall bow themselves. All right, or the military, the police department, you know, they're going to be weakened. Now, it says here, the keepers of the house, that'd be like um, your bankers, your corporations, you know, and all your employers. They're in fear for what's coming. In the military, all right. And the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few. Man, there's gonna be no jobs, and employees gonna be scared to go to work. Um, and those that look out the windows be darkened, and that's a parable for fear. People gonna be in fear, all right, for what's coming. All right. And the doors shall be shut in the street, so it's gonna cause an economic um, collapse, which is gonna have. We see it during the lockdowns. Everything's gonna be shut down, man. All right, not gonna be any help in the streets at these stores. You ain't gonna be able to just go up to your mom and pop stores, to the WalMarts, to the corner store, whatever. Things are gonna change drastically. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird. All right, that's an economic crash, man. Just like the ancient Roman Empire, it fell apart. So this has to happen first, in the midst of these proxy wars changing over to a direct war or a hot war. in World War III. But in the midst of that, it's going to be economic turmoil, and we don't fully see that in America yet. But this could cause it. The markets are going to go haywire once America gets into that war. Once you see America go to join that war, watch the markets. Watch what happens. All right, just know that it's all the investors like, oh shit, just like the Titanic, they started jumping off. All right, so and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, no employment, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird. All right, instead of your alarm clock getting up to go to work, you're just gonna hear birds outside. Ain't gonna be no workers out there, and no lawnmowers. And all the daughters of music shall be brought low. All these entertainers, celebrities that's living this false um, character, this false existence. Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Jeezy, Rick Ross, all these rappers with these fake names, man, and these characters they created in this society, you know, and they're gonna realize it's all vanity. Also, when they shall be afraid of that which is high, that's what I was saying earlier. They're gonna be afraid of the judgment. They're gonna be afraid of Russia getting involved. All these powerful nations pointing their fingers at America now. And fears, what fears shall be in the way? See, people are afraid because they're starting to see, oh shit, this shit going nuclear. Y'all hear about Russia? You hear about Iran? They wasn't saying that during the Gaza shit. Everybody going on about their day. And the grasshopper shall be a burden. So the smallest thing is going to, shit, you might say the grasshopper is going to be Iran. The grasshopper shall be a burden. The smallest thing is going to crash the system. Just like a grasshopper would be out in your field, or what's it called them things? Not the grasshopper. It's a I can't remember the name of it. That fucking bug. Uh, locust. All right, and the grasshopper shall be a burden, and desire shall fail. We're witnessing that people's desires failing, their aspirations. The vintage shall fail. The mirth of the land is gone. Right, because man goeth to his long home. It's gonna be a lot of bloodshed, and the mourners go about the streets, man. All right, so let's get into it. Um, Matthew 24:6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. See, a lot of people are going to be afraid, but the Lord is saying, don't be troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. We're waiting for the end. The end is Judgment Day, and that's nuclear destruction, but that's not yet. All right, they may turn nuclear. You know, they may attack some nuclear sites and cause a nuclear explosion, and we may see that it's going to cause a lot of fear in people. They're going to say, "Oh man, this is going to happen tomorrow." No, it ain't yet. It's not yet, because there's still some prophecies that got to happen. They got to push Revelation 13 to 16, the MOTB. All right, and that could happen from America getting involved in the war, or them pushing the digital system. So let's read this article real quick, and it says here: Israel and Iran have been exchanging missiles after Tel Aviv launched a unprecedented attack last week. Russia is one of Iran's most important allies after that protection agreement they have. You know, they signed a few months back or years ago. With the two deepening, Iran and Russia deepening military cooperation and inking a strategic partnership agreement just months ago, as I just said. All right. It's a protection treaty. And it's like Iran has the same protection treaty with China, with Turkey, with Pakistan, with all kind of nations over there in the east, and North Korea, all the BRICS nations, and they have this hidden government, this hidden allegiance over there, that we're gonna see the power of those Middle Eastern nations, man. It's gonna look like some ancient shit. They're gonna all conglomerate come together. And that's why Pakistan warned them. Say, hey, Israel, if you attack Iran, that's why Israel's afraid to hit them with a nuke, because they know Russia's gonna get involved in China. So they're saying Pakistan, because Pakistan said, yo, if you hit Iran with a nuke, then just know that Pakistan is gonna nuke the hell out of Israel. So they're like, all right, let's get America to do it. And plus, Israel doesn't have the adequate depth that they can reach with their missiles, as far as except for America. America does with their bunker busters that can be shot from the stealth bomber. All right. So now, but the Kremlin has not provided military support so far, right? Because they said, yeah, Putin said, yeah, Iran can protect itself. And if they begin to get weak, that's when you're gonna see Russia get involved. But right now, Russia's stepping in. They're not standing on the sideline. They're still asserting themselves into the situation, but they're asserting themselves into the situation as, or into the turmoil as a peacekeeper, a mediator, but they're still involved, you know. Um, and President Vladimir Putin is pitching himself as a possible mediator, even as he condemns Israel aggression. We would like to particularly warn Washington, so they're being direct, against military intervention in the situation. Russian Foreign Minister spokesman Maria Zakharova told reporters President Trump had suggested Wednesday he was still considering joining Israel's Iran. So like it. U.S. President, I hate the way people write. U.S. President Donald Trump has suggested Wednesday he will still he was still considering joining Israel's strike on Iran, saying, "I may do it, I may not." Up, that's scripture right there. There you go. Let me get that. See, I may do it, I may not. All right. So he don't know what the hell he gonna do. This is Psalms 10 and 5. His ways are always grievous. So you know what he gonna choose. He gonna do it. I may do it, I may not. Man, you gonna choose. You gonna do it. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. See, they can't understand that's the Most High controlling them. So they're gonna do what the Most High's will at the end of the day. All right. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. He said, whatever. I may do it, I may not. He have said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. They say, see, Trump and them think they're untouchable, just like the West, which would the dragon, and the beast, NATO, and those United Kingdom nations, Britain, England, they all think they're untouchable. All right, let me get this. Let me get one more real quick. This is Proverbs 20 and 24. Man's goings are of Yahweh. So everything they're doing is according to the Father's will. Other than that, it wouldn't even exist. The Most High wrote this story out, before the earth even existed. He planned it out, you know. That's Second Ezra chapter 9. I already went into it yesterday or a couple days ago. So we know that the Most High spoke these things from the beginning. All right. So man's goings are of Yahweh. How can a man then understand his own way? You see that? So that Trump can't understand what the hell he's like. I may do it, I may not. You're gonna do it because the Most High says so. He also lashed out at Russia's offer to broker peace, telling Putin to resolve the Ukraine conflict first. They like, yo, there's a bunch of hypocrites talking in a circle, man. All right. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said Thursday that it was not up to Trump to reject Putin's offer. These services can be accepted by countries that are currently directly involved in the conflict, talking about Israel and Iran. So Russia like, yo, mind your business. I'm trying to talk to Iran and Israel, see if they want some peace. Trump like, shut up, goody two shoes. Think you better than me? All right. So I'm gonna read this real quick and I'm gonna go to the next article. It says, watch Ambassador Andre Kellen's interview with CNN's chief international anchor Amanpour. If required, we can offer mediation between Israel and Iran. There are important actors in the Middle East and beyond who would welcome these efforts. So they want peace, but clearly America doesn't. They're the hammer of the earth, and they're built, especially NATO. But America was built to be a war machine, and for slavery. So China and Russia are set to back Iran real soon, man. Now the proof is right here that it could be soon. Let's go to this article real quick. It says here, you see it, read it and weep. As my brother out there in Philly always say, Mayaka Allah, read it and weep. All right, this is an article. What is it on? Express USA. The U.S. will be at war in the Middle East by the end of this week. Experts predict. And these are military experts, not these damn gypsies and weirdos. These are experts that are saying they're 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 noticing that there could be a conflict with America being involved in the Middle East by this weekend. Why? Because Trump already said it. He gave 2 weeks before his decision um, uh, whether to go into Iran or not, and that was 2 weeks ago. Tomorrow's Friday, or today's Friday. Yeah, today's Friday. All right. So the U.S. will be at war in the Middle East by the end of the week. Experts predict, man. Okay. So I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get a precept. So we have wars, the rumors of wars. I want to go to Isaiah 14 and 4. Isaiah 14 and 4. It says here um, that Isaiah 14 and 4, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon. See, we're taking up this parables, this proverb, this scriptures, the prophecies against the king of Babylon, against the president, and say, how have the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. Now you got to look at this in past tense. See, Isaiah is seeing right here the destruction of America, of Babylon. But what caused it to get to that point? If you backtrack, it will rewind you and bring you to this moment we're at today, to where all the warnings are going out. You see that? The end result will be ultimately that the golden city will cease. And you just so have Trump pushing their golden dome policy, that they're saying they're going to have a golden dome probably this month or real soon, which is basically going to be another version of the Iron Dome over there in Israel. But it's just tougher because America has more land than Israel does. Israel has the Iron Dome, which is for short range. They have the David Sling, which is for mid range and longer distances of incoming attacks. And then you have the Arrow system, which goes out. It can attack far out and also defend. So America is trying to establish a golden dome over the golden city. but how have the oppressor ceased? The oppressor, man, they oppress many nations. Habakkuk 2, they're oppressing Iran. You see that? All right. Yahweh, this is how he explaining it. Yahweh have broken the staff of the wicked. See, it's about that conglomerate they have over there in the UK to NATO to America. That's America is the staff of the wicked that they use as a pendulum over these nations, or as a scepter to rule these nations, like a judge in the courtroom with the gavel. America is the gavel, the hammer that sets the order and judgment in this earth for the wicked. So Yahweh have broken the staff of the wicked, their strength. All right. Without America, the UK will be rendered powerless with no allies. Daniel chapter 2. And the scepter of the rulers, see that? Those elites. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. We seeing it, Gaza. We seen um, Iraq. Some say Armageddon really started back in 1980 when they attacked Iraq. That's what really kicked things off. But he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, man. Think about it. What they doing to the nation, to us, the Israelites. You remember what Trump did to the Native Americans over that pipeline they was building? Remember that? People forgot about that. Remember what they did when Trump first got in office? Uh, when they were slaying dark skinned people in the streets, and he said, "Be tougher on them." That's the same guy that's in office today, and now he pushed that um, oppression to the borders with Issachar and these other nations, and over there in the Middle East, man. They're oppressing them people. We're witnessing their oppression. He who smote the people in wrath, man. He said the devil coming down with great wrath because he know he has but a short time. With a continual stroke. See that? He that will let uh, he will let until he be moved out of the way. They're going to continue to oppress us until Yahweh Shai stops them. He that ruled the nations in anger. We're seeing that. Look how Bibi and them are handling the Iranians. Look how they're handling Gaza. All right. It is being persecuted and none hindereth. So that wrath is going to be returned. That's why Iran is causing subsequential damage in Israel today. All right. So Isaiah 14:7, the whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. So once America gets caught up in the turmoil, man, it can ultimately bring peace on earth. It's crazy, man. Because damn, imagine a nation that has to fight everybody to exist. Without wars, it can't exist. Somebody say they pulling away from the dollar or the OPEC deal, they go to war. So without war, America really can't exist at this point. Even NATO. So they need an enemy. And it says this is the point. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. All right. And that's Russia saying, yo, I'm warning you. China saying they're warning. They put out a warning too the other day against Israel. North Korea, Pakistan, all those nations, the Muslim Brotherhood. Even Saudi Arabia allegedly said they're not gonna allow Israel to fly through their airspace to do strikes on Iran because they're all Muslims. All right. And the powerhouse of that Muslim region in the east is Iran. So hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming, stirring up these nations, man. All right. And they say it's always somebody out there that's badder than you. You think you bad. Somebody's out there that's badder than you. Somebody out there that think they Michael Jackson. Bad. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to to meet thee at thy coming, man. So that's movement going on. All those nations are coming together. That's Ezekiel 38. They're getting built up and they ready to meet America. As soon as you step forward and get involved, they're gonna be right there. It stirreth up the dead for thee. So they're being stirred up. The Lord is stirring up the spirit of the Medes, even all the chief ones of the earth, not just Russia, but China. All the chief nations of the earth. They're being stirred up against America to meet America as soon as they try to show up to the east. It have raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All right. So, why not? Let me read this real quick. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou become as weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? And that's what they're witnessing. So let's get into. I don't want to get too far from the article. Okay, I still got some reading to do. So now let's go back here. It says the U.S. will be at war in the Middle East, but they're going to be met with a fight, according to Isaiah 14 and 9. Held from beneath, these nations are going to rise up to meet Babylon head on. All right. The U.S. will be at war in the Middle East by the end of the week. Experts predict. No more proxies. It's going to be direct war, conflict. And it could be by this weekend. Hey, we may hear something tomorrow. It's usually on Saturdays. May not be, you know. Exclusive weapons expert William R. Fortune. Damn, German Edomite names, boy. Fortune has predicted that the U.S. will become embroiled, I mean, in a hot war, in the ongoing conflict in the Middle East, in the East, by the end of the week, man. Jeez, that's this week. So, this guy named William R. Fortune, this is him right here. Yeah, he look like Bill Gates, don't he? It says Fortune was born and grew up in Melbourne. We don't care about that. I'm gonna go here. Fortune, is an American historian, an author, and professor of history and faculty fellow. And that don't matter. So he's basically a professor, a historian, like a weapons expert. All right. So he know what the hell he's talking about. Basically, that's why I'm showing you who he is. And he's predicting from the trends that he's seeing that the war, they're going to be at war by the end of this week. And it could be possible, but the Lord said we should not be troubled, but we really should be rejoicing. All right. So check this out. The Flying Pentagon. This is from 22 minutes ago. Trump deploys nuclear doomsday plane amid Israel's Iran war. Look at that. As tensions rise in the Middle East following major Israel airstrikes on Iran, one of America's most secretive military aircraft, the E-48, 4B, the E-4B Night Watch, also known as the Doomsday Plane. Damn. And they say they moved everyone 89 seconds to Doomsday this year. And Elder Pastor Hart put it out there that this could be the year of the hopeful prophecies coming to pass in the year of Esau's judgment, right? The year of salvation. So the Doomsday plane, they moved it 89 seconds closer to Doomsday. It says it made an unexpected and unusual flight to Joint Base Andrews near Washington, D.C. on the night of June 17th. So they basically getting prepared, right, to go over there to the east. So now, see, that's why the scripture says, even at the doors, man. All right. So just remember, all this is happening. So what else? What does that mean about you? That's in this truth. That mean the rest of the prophecies are true as well. That someday you'll be immortal. That the Lord will be perfectly righteous, and you're gonna see Yahweh Shai someday soon. All the prophecies about us are true as well. All right, about the kingdom. So let's read this article, and I'm gonna shut this joint down. Try to keep it short. Weapons expert. See, he's a weapons expert. That's why I said that. He's a weapons expert. William R. Fortune. Uh, I'm probably butchering his name, but it's all good. Predicts that the U.S. will become embroiled in the ongoing conflict in the Middle East by the end of this week. Speaking to the Express U.S. I guess is a news site. Fortune stated that he believed that it was important that the U.S. start construction on Donald Trump's Golden Dome before entering the conflict. Ooh, that's why it says that in Ezekiel 38, all them dwelling without walls. So they ain't get the Golden Dome started yet. What are you talking about attacking people, man? You better get your defense up first. Oh, I think it's the perfect time because we are seeing a war in the Middle East all out, both sides. The 74-year-old stated, and I do predict we we are going to get into it, and I do predict we're going to get into it by the end of the week. Sheesh. All right. Fortune went on to say that the U.S. cannot let that deep base center, which is the core of their nuclear program, survive. Talking about Iran. He added, the Iranians are being absolutely hell no. I don't know the fuck. We're not going to come to the negotiating table. All right. So he wanted to eat them ease um Idumeans that are all for the war. Okay. Military industrial complex. He probably part of all of that shit. Iran has been a thorn in the side of this country for decades. He added, it's been a deadly thorn for Israel. I'm glad we're doing it now. I think it's a good time to pitch this system. And he want the war. Okay. You're gonna get what you asked for. That's what the Lord gonna bring to you. All right. So let me go let's go to this is scripture right here. Ezekiel 38 and 7. And it says, let me go back. So I can. All right. So it says here, um, be thou a guard unto them. And what's the first nation he named is named in the scriptures? Ezekiel 38 and 4. And I will turn thee back. So Russia's being brought back to the Soviet Union mind state over there in Eurasia, with it which used to be called the Soviet Union, you know. So trying to bring all those nations over there back under Kremlin dominance, which would be Ukraine, Crimea, et cetera, Kiev. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth. So Russia's been brought forth. That's why they fighting that war over there. And all thine armies, horses and horsemen, all kind of fighters, elite level, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, modern day technology, protection. Even a great company with bucklers and shields, missile defenses, and all of them handling swords. They're going to be trained in war with this new weaponry. All right, modern day technology, even drones. Persia, whoa, first country that they named. Because you mess with Persia, all these other nations gonna step up. Libya with them. So Libya and its allies. You see what happened with Libya with Gaddafi. You see what they're trying to do in Africa. All of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all of his bands and the house of Togarmah which would be Turkey, the of the North Quarter, so it'd be the northern region of Turkey and its allies, and all his bands, see, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared. So they prepared. They already ready. And prepare for thyself. And that's important with Second Ezra 15 because Russia has their own missiles as well. But they're gonna also and have already given missile defenses to these nations, like North Korea, Iran. And they probably sliding them some missiles too. All right. But Russia has its own defenses and its own technology and weaponry. So they're also prepared, going nuclear. Thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So Russia said it. Don't get involved in this war. Look at his face, right? Russia's warning. They're a guard unto Iran. Russia warns U.S. not to join Israel's attack on Iran and hits back at Trump. He's saying basically keep it a fair fight. Let them two fight it out or talk it out. Don't get involved. You get involved, you know how it is. You seen Jake fighting on the street a lot. And as soon as somebody jump in the fight, another person jump in. They become a Royal Rumble. This is indeed a true Royal Rumble that's about to happen. All right. So let me go here real quick. Put it back on this. Then I want to read this one precept real quick. All right, so like, let me cut my AC on. The Florida humidity be creeping up on you. All right. So let me finish this real quick. Let's go to let's go to Second Ezra 15 and 34. All right. Second Ezra 15 and 34. Make sure I got my sound. All right. It says here, Second Ezra 15 and 34. Behold, clouds from the east. And the scriptures say that they shall descend like a storm. That's Russia. Come up like a cloud. All right. That means thundering and rage and wrath and in battle. All right. Behold, clouds from the east and from the north unto the south is Russia and all its allies, and they are very horrible to look upon. They're gonna be scary as hell when they emerge as a conglomerate, as one big ass army on this earth, man. We ain't seen that type of power except for through America and Europe, man. Well, we about to witness it, Yahweh Ratazah, in our time. Some major military movement from these nations, man. Full of wrath and storm. So they're gonna be ready, just like Ezekiel 38. They're gonna join in on the war. All Russia and its allies. All right. So I don't want to read this whole. Let me just. Oh shit. Let me just read it. All right. Let me read it. All right. Yeah, I'll read it real quick. Okay. It says here, 35. They shall smite one upon another, and they shall smite down a great multitude of stars upon the earth. So Russia is going to cause. They're going to be dishing out missiles, man, to Iran and these nations, man. And those nations, like North Korea, they're going to use those missiles all over the earth. Nukes. They're going to go nuclear. All right. This war should be a battle of fuel and fire. ICBMs and things like that. If everything isn't nuclear, it's going to be a higher technology, and they're going to cause a lot of that to fall upon the earth once Russia gets involved. Even their own star. So ultimately, Russia going to drop their ICBMs on this place, America or Babylon. And blood shall be from the sword into the belly. All right, that basically saying, uh, uh, the slain of the Lord shall be many. It's gonna be a lot of unalive people from this war. As you see on the internet, TikTok, you see a lot of a lot of American military members or staff eating lobster, and they saying, "Oh shit, we got lobster." War is about to break out. They're nervous, and they shall smite down a great multitude of stars upon the earth. So them stars is wormwood, the ICBMs, or nuclear radiation level missiles, not just a ballistic missile, but equipped with nuclear warheads. Even their own star. I'm gonna let y'all see what I'm looking at. Here we go. All right, even their own stars, so their own missile, and blood shall be from the sword into the belly, and the dung of men unto the camel's hoof. So the dung of men represent unalived bodies. All right, the remains are gonna be left over there. And there shall be great fearfulness. Whoa! So it's gonna cause a lot of fear to come down on the earth, and trembling upon earth. And they that see the wrath, so they're gonna see it on the news, right? Shall be afraid, especially if they over there. And trembling shall come upon them, man. Right? Especially those Israelis, man. Them over there in our land, the Khazars. You see, they was all proud before, and they was like, "Yo, so how do you feel about how they treating the Palestinians?" And they're like, "They deserve it. Thank you, Netanyahu, for doing all that." But now they're like, "Sorry, Iran, we're sorry. Please make them stop." And there shall be great fearfulness and trembling upon earth, because they're gonna go nuclear, man. Especially when Russia and them get involved. And they that see the wrath shall be afraid, and trembling shall come upon them. And that was, what does Scripture say? Hell from beneath is moved for thee, and they shall meet thee at thy coming. So when they go to hit Iran, they might be met with um, a defense from Russia and China, a response, because Russia's in a protection treaty with Iran, man. They signed a deal, they inked it, man. You know, so and ultimately, that turmoil that's going to happen in the East, where all of them get to show their might. That's what it is. They're going to all get to display their modern technology over there in the East. We're going to get to see it. You know, um, which is ultimately going to bring down the lifestyle here in America, the crash of the economy. It could cause it. And then there shall Salakia. And then there shall come great storms from the south and from the north and another part from the west. There you go. That's America and its allies. And the strong winds shall arise from the east and shall open it. So the ones we spoke of a minute ago, they're going to rise up and stop these great storms that's coming from the west. All right. So the strong winds shall arise from the east. See, shall meet there at thy coming and shall open it. So you got to look at a storm showing up and then it get dissipated, stopped from the winds that cut through it, just like a hurricane. You got low level, high level winds that can cut through a hurricane and cut off the top of it or the bottom of it and make it weaker. All right, so the winds can disturb a storm. So those nations like Russia, China, and North Korea, et cetera, and Iran's allies, it might not be Russia immediately, you know, but they're all going to stop uh, the power of the West. And the cloud which he raised up in wrath, so they threatened the people with nukes, the stars stirred to cause fear towards the east. towards Iran and the west wind shall be destroyed. All right, so that threat from the west is going to be destroyed. And the great and mighty clouds shall be puffed up full of wrath. So they're gonna go another level up with the mushroom cloud. They're gonna go nuclear. And the star that they may make all the earth afraid, man. That's World War III right there. That's when it's gonna turn to World War III. The whole world is under threat now, not just the east. And them that dwell therein, and they shall pour out over every high and eminent place a horrible star. That's Russia. They're gonna snap the hell out. And wherever American allies or bases are, they're gonna be dropping hellfire on them. This is according to prophecy. All right. Fire and hail, flying swords, see, all kind of missiles, and many waters, tsunamis. They got the Poseidon. That all fields may be full, and all rivers with the abundance of great waters can cause floods and destruction. And they shall break down the cities and walls. It's in the book of Joel. Mountains and hills, trees of the woods, and grass of the meadows, and their corn. It's gonna be all kind of destruction everywhere. All right, and that's the end part right here. See, ultimately, this war is gonna cause those nations to be against America roundabout. But what we should be looking for is the economy to crash once Trump gives the green light to go into this. Or I'd rather say once Trump gets the green light to go into the war. All right. And they shall go steadfastly unto Babylon and make her afraid. See, ultimately they're gonna end up saying, you know what? They came up to Iran, they came up to our borders, they came up to Russia with Ukraine and all that. How about we go to their borders? That's what they're gonna do. You heard about Russia being in Cuba. So they're gonna say steadfastly, let's go unto Babylon and make her afraid. And they shall come to her and besiege her, the star and all the wrath shall they pour out upon her. They shall then shall the dust and the smoke go up unto the heavens, and they and all they that be about her shall bewail her. That's Revelation 18. All right, in the mushroom cloud. So that's when the prophecy is going to happen. But right now, the Lord is telling us the end is not yet, but it's close. So get prepared for Jacob's trouble, and then World War III. All right. So yeah, man. So that's the article for today. This right here. They said war could be happening, or Russia could be, so like America could be joining the war by the end of this week, according to the promise from Trump 2 weeks ago. Shalom, brother, y'all were all right. Shalom, y'all Bashim al Shabrakatah. All right, so yeah, man. I'm gonna wrap this one up. Hopefully you were edified, and I'm gonna say shalom and keep your eyes to the skies, man, and stay prayed up. And don't move in fear, man, because you got to pray or worry. You can't do both. All right? Let's keep waiting on the Lord and pushing towards salvation. Say, shalom.